This story isn't just about politics or a televised interview. It's about the unexpected moments that remind us of our shared humanity, where powerful leaders and fearless reporters become vulnerable children once more. When President Donald Trump sat across from rising journalist Amelia Rhodes, no one knew a simple question would turn a tense interview into one of the most emotional segments ever aired. The studio was electric with tension. Cameras rolled, producers murmured into headsets, and viewers across the country leaned in. This wasn't just another interview. It was President Donald Trump's first one-on-one with Amelia Rhodes, a 27-year-old journalist known for asking questions no one dared to. Amelia was sharp, fearless, and respected for her truth-seeking. Trump, in his usual red tie, appeared unusually calm as he sat opposite her. The moment crackled with anticipation. "Mr. President," Amelia began, "why haven't you responded to the growing concerns raised by teachers nationwide?" To everyone's surprise, Trump didn't dodge. "That's a fair question," he said, then paused. "But may I ask you something first?" She hesitated. "Sure. Who was the most important teacher in your life?" The studio fell silent. Amelia blinked, caught off guard. "My mother," she finally said, "Claire Rhodes. She taught third grade for over 25 years in a low-income school. She passed away when I was in college." Trump listened intently. "What made her special?" Amelia's voice softened. "She believed in the kids the world gave up on. She packed lunches for students who didn't have any, gave rides, stayed late, and never let me think our struggles defined us." Trump nodded. "Sounds like the kind of teacher we need more of." Her walls dropped. For a moment. It wasn't a political interview. It was a conversation between two people remembering someone they loved. "She used to write quotes on a chalkboard in our kitchen," Amelia said. "One I never forgot. You are allowed to fail. You are not allowed to quit." Trump smiled. That's powerful." Amelia's voice trembled. "I became a journalist to ask hard questions because my mother taught me to speak up." "You do," Trump replied. The energy in the studio shifted. Less confrontation, more connection. Viewers stayed, not for conflict, but for humanity. Trying to regain focus, Amelia asked, "Why didn't you answer my question like other politicians would?" Because Trump said sometimes answering the why means understanding the who. He then shared that he'd recently met with retired teachers. One reminded him of Ms. Langley, second-grade teacher. "She believed in me when I was the class clown," he said with a grin. "Still am. Some say they both laughed." For the first time, Amelia put down her note cards. The tension melted. She looked at him. "Who was your first heartbreak?" He didn't flinch. "My mother, Mary. She was strict, elegant, and told me, 'You're not special until you help someone who can't repay you.'" Amelia blinked back tears. "I still have my mother's chalkboard," she said. Her last message on it was, "Be kind. Everyone's fighting something you don't see." Trump was quiet for a beat. That's worth more than any executive order. She asked why people believe he doesn't care. "Because loud men make easy villains. And I haven't always shown my softer side." "That's honest," she replied. Trump leaned in. "Your mom's chalkboard might do more good than all of Washington's noise." Amelia pressed her hand to her chest, overwhelmed. "This isn't just news anymore." She said, "It's something else." Turning to the audience, she spoke directly. "If you're remembering someone who raised you, you're not alone." Trump added, "Grief doesn't care about politics. It teaches us things power never could." Silence followed, not awkward silence, but the kind that heals. As the interview wrapped, Amelia looked at Trump. "You know, I had a list of tough questions, but you made me human today." He chuckled. "Sometimes that's the hardest question of all." She paused. "Will you write?" "A message on my mom's chalkboard. Not for the cameras, just for me." He nodded, and a prop chalkboard was brought in. Trump took the chalk and wrote, "To every teacher, you make presidents and daughters proud." The room stilled. "Your mom would be proud of you," he said. "And yours of you," she replied. They shook hands, not as politician and reporter, but as people. After the broadcast, the interview went viral, not for controversy, but for compassion. Comments poured in. "I cried watching this. Less shouting, more sharing. As a teacher, thank you." Messages flooded in. One email stood out. A retired postal worker wrote, "I was your mom's student in 1981. I stuttered so badly I wouldn't speak in class. She let me read to her during lunch. She called me a gentle thunderstorm. I became a public speaker. He brought her back for a moment. K. Amelia wept." Days later, a letter arrived from Trump. Inside was a childhood photo and a handwritten note. "You reminded me that behind every tough journalist is a story worth telling. And behind every leader should be a heart worth showing." Amelia's mother's school in Detroit renamed its library the Claire Rhodes Reading Corner. Trump, without cameras, attended the dedication. He knelt to tie a child's shoe in the hallway and stood before Claire's photo, whispering, "She got things done." Back in the studio, Amelia was asked if she wanted to return to her hard-hitting style. She shook her head. "No, I want to ask who inspired them, what they've lost, where they come from." "That's not how the game works," her producer warned. "Then maybe," she said, "it's time we change the game." What we learned today is that beyond debates and disagreements, it's often our stories, our memories that connect us the most. A mother's chalkboard, a child's gratitude, a president's reflection. They reminded us all of the power of kindness. And how teachers shape not just students, but nations. What would you have said if you were asked about someone who changed your life? Let us know in the comments below.